Welcome to Demon Lord Retry.
Well, I just want to say that I'm a huge fan.
The show starts with Pirate Software here preparing to shut down his game Heartbound because it's a shitty ass Undertale copy game. Then he suddenly got Isakud into the game and realized that he turned into the character he created. He saw this loli being chased by a demon and saved her. Then she starts calling him a Demon Lord, but he doesn't like it because he just wants to be known as the man who worked 7 years in Blizzard.
But I worked at Blizzard for 7 years.
I know I made a lot of Pirate Software jokes or memes in the last videos, but because he's just the lol cow of the internet in 2025. And I know what you're trying to say, and you're gonna say, well, he's just the lol cow of last year. But listen, I love making fun of dumb people, alright? And this isn't bullying, by the way. I'm just stating facts on how he presents himself in the internet. Now let's move on. He starts calling the game administrator and realizes that he can still control the game. He asked the loli some questions on where the demon came from, and she took him to this old temple and encountered this statue that can grant wishes. But instead, the statue gave him this ring and got Thanos snapped. The pair heads to the loli's village so that she can get her things to tag alongside him. But she was met by the bullies because she's the village reject they sacrificed to the demon. The ring starts acting weird and wants to devour the bullies, but he managed to control it and stop the bullying. Then he burned one of their houses to prove a point and they yeeted out. And they head straight to the capital city. A day passed by and they're passing into this valley where they got ambushed by these bandits because they thought the pair were allies with the Holy Priestess. But Demon Lord Pirate Software easily smacked their faces until the Holy Priestess arrived.
Hello there.
She attacked all of them and ordered her soldiers to capture the pair for withstanding her attacks. But as usual, Pirate Software easily defended himself, and he spanked the hell out of the loli priestess, like literally.
Naughty, naughty.
They arrived at the city where he booked a luxury hotel, bought the loli some new clothes, and ate in a 5 Michelin star restaurant. Then loli priestess barges in and says, "Hey fuckboy, give me my money back." "No fucking way, that was a payment for accusing us as terrorists. So sit down and join us in a threesome if you don't wanna get spanked again."
Oh, shiver my timbers!
The priestess joins them for dinner. As they head back, she follows the pair because she has no money to rest for the night. But Pirate Software, being the gentleman that he is, paid her money back. And we see this hot dominatrix priestess heading towards the city capital. These first 2 episodes is slow as hell. Like there's no action-packed fight scenes, and we only see this generic slice of life adventure. That's what I deserve for getting my hopes up.
So you get nothing.
Anyway, we see Pirate Software selling one of his bowls to this antique shop, and he scams the owner by selling it for 5 gold coins.
Best I can do is 250.
Then we see the Satanist cult preparing to kill the priestess. Pirate Software heads out and sees the hot dominatrix priestess calling out for the loli priestess, and she was like, "Bitch, why the hell did you accept this mission alone? Do you wanna get raped by pedophiles?" "No, I got this mission under control because I read the Epstein files and apparently my target is Stephen Hawking." The KKK shows up and attacks them, and they manage to defend themselves. But this guy brings out his shit demon monster to immobilize the pair, and Zangief from Street Fighter protected the pair as they got shot by some arrows. Meanwhile, Pirate Software was getting immobilized by the curse ring. Then he used his character changer skill to dispel the curse and save the pair, and sent the KKK back to hiding. Hot dominatrix priestess Pussy starts getting wet, where she became submissive and asked Pirate Software for his name, and he called himself White Ken from Street Fighter. He hits out where he regrets playing this delinquent character, and he doesn't want to tell anyone about this. And the gang continued on to their journey. We jump to the next episode and see this adventurer duo, and they're currently hunting these sandwolves as their quest. Big Tit Lady here says,
と黙ってさえいれば超絶美少女なんだけどだが男だ
"Oh my god, fucking traps everywhere, just like in real life. Because in today's age, you need a 2-step verification to confirm their gender." Okay, moving on. The pair found their targets, but there's just too many wolves and they ran away. Pirate Software sees them heading their way, and he used his OP skill to defend the gang. He told the pair to be careful and avoid luring a mob of monsters.
Okay.
The gay's Boosie starts getting wet, and Big Tit Adventurer realized that he's the rumored Demon Lord. As they moved on, they stopped at this oasis for a pit stop, and he noticed the loli's legs is fucked up because of her torn ACL. Pirate Software scarred his menu skills and found out he can summon one of his 8 loyal mods. Then he summoned this hot Shotacon lover doctor. He then calls the loli over and tells the hot doctor to heal her torn ACL. She does it, and the loli thanked them both for their kindness. As they head back, Pirate Software thanked the hot doctor, and her pussy starts throbbing because finally someone noticed her as a human being.
My pussy's throbbing.
And she wants to get intimate with him even more. Lol, this is what every gold digger feels when a rich old man notices them, or even a Twitch chatter when a streamer notices them in the chat. Anyway, we see the KKK in the next episode preparing to attack Pirate Software because he just spoiled their plans. On the other hand, the gang arrives arrive at the village Loli Priestess is in charge of, and she says that the church appointed her to run this broken village. Pirate Software talks to Hot Doctor telepathically, and he determined that the church is using the Loli as a puppet, kinda like how the globalists use the government to run the world.
We know we're under attack! We know it! We're breaking the conditioning! Ah! Ah! We're coming for you, globalist!
And they need to raise the economy of this village ASAP. Pirate Software told the gang about his plan to make this village great again, where they need to put up a hospital and a hot spring, while selling some bath soaps on the side because no one can resist this combo. And the Loli tells the village chief to tell the church that they're going to
Make America great again!
They see these snow bunnies getting disappointed about their carrot crops for not being good enough to be sold at the market. Loli Priestess told Pirate Software on the reason why these snow bunnies ended up here, because the church are racist towards half-animal people, and they send the feds to ice all of them who are living inside the city. They talk to the snow bunnies to analyze their situation, and Pirate Software starts working by making the well produce water again, and giving them free fertilizers for their crops. Then we cut to this scene and see these nobles discussing the Loli Priestess situation, because they're worried about her being too close with Pirate Software, and these two nuns argued if it's good or bad to leave her alone, while these nuns keeps touching himself in front of the Holy Maiden.
Ooh, you're hard showing off.
But Hot Holy Maiden here wants her sister to gain experience on how to lead people, because someday she'll lead the Israelites to cross the Red Sea. Then the Dominatrix Priestess returns and she's in love with Pirate Software's Smurf character. We jump to the next episode and see the gang dining one of Jamie Olive Oil's finest restaurants. Then Fat Amy Schumer here interrupted their fine dining experience. Pirate Software talks to the Loli Priestess telepathically, where she says that she's the first lady in this city, because her jokes are just too funny for feminists.
And then I fist him like you wouldn't believe.
Not funny, didn't laugh.
He then sees the opportunity to promote his soap and hot spring business, and he managed to get a deal done with the Shark Tank, or more like the Whale Tank. Their dinner got interrupted because the KKK raided the city again. Pirate Software rushed to the fighting grounds, and we see the Big Tit and Trap Adventurer duo fighting the KKK. They got surrounded, but Pirate Software arrives just in time to save them again as per. And the Trap's Boosie also starts getting wet again, and this clan member summoned a demon as a final resort, but Pirate Software easily clapped the KKK demon.
That's a lot of damage!
And the people of the city starts respecting him as their savior. We cut back to the Minjes and see this clown entertaining them, and his plan is to kill the Priestess Loli because he's a KKK member. But Hot Doctor already noticed this and told him to fuck off, or else she'll circumcise him if he ever tries to kill anyone here. Meanwhile, we see these adventurers defending the city. On the other hand, the KKK people outside the gate sacrifice their lives to summon the ultimate demon.
I don't want to do it if Diddy did it!
Then Hot Dominatrix Priestess and Big Tit Mage here fights the demon in a 2v1, but they got caught in this trap, where this Loli support brings out the shit demon again to immobilize them. Damn, this fucking shit demon might be the greatest character in this anime. Like, they just can't kill it because they can't move once it touches them. Whatever, nobody cares. The Minjes got raw dogged by the demon, but Pirate Software saw all of this fiasco, where he transformed into White Ken again and kicks the shit out of the demon using his Hadouken moves, and he keeps on trash talking the demon by saying, "Lol, you're just a virgin demon. How about you start getting some bitches before you fight me?" As the demon got ass clapped, he saw the Loli support where he fingered her.
Fingered! Brah! 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 This is my new favorite game, I love it.
And drink all of her period blood so that he can transform into his Nine-Tails form. But Ken revived the Loli by giving her this healing butter, and he used his ultimate Hadouken move and win the fight. The next morning comes where Pirate Software and the Hot Holy Maiden talked about peace negotiations, and he says that he wasn't planning on liberating this kingdom. Hot Holy Maiden is skeptical, but she believes him for now, because he managed to tame her Loli Priestess sister. Then she asks, "Thanks for protecting the kingdom, because you're White Ken, right, who beat that demon lord?" Well, that was a cheap-ass demon lord compared to me, because I've worked in Blizzard for 7 years, and I know the difference on what makes a good game and a bad game. As he heads out, the Loli demon meets up with him, because she recognized his aura, which is the same as White Ken. Then she was like, "Let me meet up with my savior White Ken." Lol, no way, not for free. But if you become my loyal follower, then I'll let you meet him anytime, because a wise man once said, if you're good at something, never do it for free. The Loli agreed and he introduced her to the gang. He tells them to start the plan on making the village great again, and he used his instant transmission technique to teleport there. He builds the hospital and tells the Hot Doctor to eat the rich, because that's what Pokemon wants.
And we hate the rich.
Aren't you the rich?
No!
Like the ultra rich, the ultra giga rich.
Sure, buddy.
Then he also builds the hot springs to start his business, and he called the snow bunnies to be his receptionist. He goes to the woods and summon one of his hitman mods, John Wick, to protect the village, and to donate some of his bits so that he can keep his hype train going. He introduced John Wick to the gang, and he proceeds to prepare for the opening of his business, where he bought some tuxedos, bunny clothes, and food ingredients. The day finally comes where Amy Schumer visits their place, and she brought this blind old man along with her. They took him to the hospital where the hot doctor cured his blindness by putting some eye drops, and Amy Schumer paid her the super giant coin, which is equivalent to $2 million, and hot doctor thanked her and hoped for a better relationship in the future. Transition to the next episode, and we see the flashback of the lolly priestess being a dirt poor girl and was despised by some nobles, but she made a promise to herself that she won't lose to these types of people, and she'll become a holy maiden to eat the rich, just like what Pokimane taught her.
We hate the rich. If you're a broke boy, just say so.
Years passed where she finally received her priestess certificate, and she told this priest nonce that she'll bring an assistant, but the priest replied, "You want your Shota friend to become your assistant? He's a fucking minority for fuck's sake, and in this land of the free we ice those minorities out of our kingdom, and if they try to resist we'll just gun them down, and that's what we did to your friend." She snaps back to reality, and oh there goes gravity, where Pirate Software talks to her telepathically, and he wants her to convince Amy Schumer to invest and promote their business. She does her job, and we cut to the Holy Maiden's talking, where Hot Holy Maiden is worried that Pirate Software is going to win the popular vote, but Dominatrix Priestess doesn't care because she only wants White Ken's dick.
Yeah, boy.
We cut back to the inn where Hot Doctor and John Wick are talking, because Pirate Software wants this village to be the complete opposite of their communist empire, and he wants to run a capitalist country. Then we skip some ecchi fan service as per and jump to the next episode, where he heads to the city and the gay and big tit duo adventurers saw him. They talked to him and told them that he's going to the guild house because he wants to find some rare dungeon items, and they replied, "The guild house is pretty much useless because they don't give you enough information, but we'll tell you all about it if you join us for a drink." He joined them and they eat and drink for free because he's the talk of the town as their savior. They told him about the preferential treatment of the guild house, where they prioritize on giving the high rank adventurers the best items, and they also told him that there are different kinds of rarities of these dungeon items. You have the normal, solid, high-end, unique, and legendaries. He thanked them for the info and plans to head out alone, but the gay boy insisted to go with him so that he can get his ass done in.
But why? Why would you do that? Why would you do any of that?
And he accepts their help. We cut to the Hot Holy Maiden praying for strength so that she can save the lolly priestess from Pirate Software's brainwashing. She teleports to the village and saw how progressive they are because of capitalism. John Wick saw her and ordered her to work on those magic crystals, where she obeyed him, and the lolly saw her. The lolly brags on how she's changing this dirt poor communist village to a capitalism utopia. She gets summoned to another task and told the snow bunnies to show her the hot spring bath, where she cluelessly entered the male's room. And we cut to the final episode where she sees Pirate Software taking a bath. He gives her a towel to cover her body because he's a gentleman. She confronts him for brainwashing her lolly sister and Amy Schumer, but he denies the allegations because they both followed him on their own decisions. She still isn't convinced, but he proceeds to reason her by giving her this halo as a token of gratitude for talking with him diplomatically. After taking a bath, he takes her back to her kingdom to prove that he isn't here to take over the world, but only wants to learn more about this seraph god because he needs to ask some questions on why he's in this world. He eats out like a gigachan, and this left her wondering if he's the fallen angel Lucifer.
Stop the cap.
And if so, she'll do anything to turn him back into an angel. Lamau, even God could wish he could unban Lucifer from entering into heaven. So wait, is religion just like streaming, where God is the streamer, his angels are the mods, and we're just his Twitch chat? And if we say something bad in the chat, we get banned from entering into heaven? Damn, that fucking theory just completely blew my mind. Anyway, enough religious tangents. Then we skip these pedophile moments and cut to the next morning because we don't wanna end up on the FBI's watch list, where Pirate Software talks to his two loyal mods and says to take care of the village during his quest. He rides the carriage along with the adventurer duo to begin his quest, and that's the end of the anime. This anime gets a Gilgamesh out of a gaming!